What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? What's good, everyone? I hope everyone has been well. I hope everyone has been doing good. We are back with our 100.
Hello there.
We are back with our 100 episode, 101st episode of the Lightning Round podcast, and this one is the first one of the new year. And today I ain't wasting no fucking time. Rightfully so, that I ain't gonna waste no time, okay? So let's get the bullshit out the way. Okay? Let's get it all out the way. It is about fucking time that the football terrorists got what was coming to them. And y'all knew damn well that the minute that this came down that I was not gonna hold my tongue. Y'all knew that the minute that this came down, it's like, look, I'm telling you, if I wasn't at my cousin's house down the street, I would have immediately booted up I would have immediately booted up an emergency stream and started talking about. Okay, how about now? It went mute because I called him a football terrorist. Because guess what? That's exactly what he is. I'm sorry, but OBS not muting me today. Not muting me today. Fuck all this. Okay? Fuck all this shit. Y'all knew damn well, like, look, like I said, the minute that this came down, the minute that this announcement was made, y'all knew that I could not fucking wait to talk about this. I had to sit there. I had to sit there for a full fucking 19-week season for this dude to get cooked and to get banned as an offensive coordinator. Now, does this mean that he's off the team? Apparently not. He's not off the team, but he sure as hell ain't going to be the offensive coordinator anymore. And as far as I'm concerned, I will fucking take it. I have called for this man's job since week 5 of the season when we lost against the Broncos. All the way back in October, early October, I called for his job and I wanted him gone. Probably even week 4, I wanted him gone. But I couldn't fucking wait. And I bide my time. I wanted it to be wrong. I wanted it to be so wrong that he would sit up there and show an inkling of fucking improvement with this offense. Let me go ahead and tell you why I called this dude the football terrorist. And arguably, if not, he is the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen in the history of football. Like, you said you were going to talk about it and you went mute. Hey, look, like I said, OBS not mute me today. Not going to mute me today. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to get this out the way. Before I even get on to anything else, this for me was priority 1. All y'all knew I was waiting for this. And it didn't take fucking long. They fired him 2 days after that fucking travesty that we should have won. But there were plenty of games that not only did we should have won, but we should have routed these teams. And we didn't because of his incompetence. Now, not everything is his fault. I'll get that out the way right now. Not everything is his fault. But he sure as hell holds a mass majority of it. It's not his fault that the offensive line was ass this year. But it is his fault when I see superstars like A.J. Brown sit up here within weeks 3-4 of the season and literally made it as blatant as possible to tell you, yo, this shit is not working. Change up with what you got going on. And they never did it. They decided to be stubborn and not do a damn thing. You know what amazes me out of this? It amazes me that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are both 1,000-yard receivers this season when really they should not be 1,000-yard receivers at all. It amazes me that Saquon Barkley got over 1,000 yards rushing when he shouldn't have gotten 1,000 yards rushing. I had to sit here and you know what? To basically put it in a video game equivalent, this is like watching a long playthrough of Sonic 06. When the game before that you saw, it was Sonic Adventure, like Sonic Adventure 2. That's what summed up how this Eagles 2025 season went for me. We went from seeing a fucking damn near goated game in Sonic Adventure 2, right? I went from seeing that shit to seeing what the hell is this with Sonic 06. That's to put it in video game terms.
What the hell is this?
That's literally the best way I can put it. I went from seeing Devontae Smith running, even though not to his fullest potential, but I see Devontae Smith running the majority of the route tree that he should be running because he's that damn talented of a receiver, to seeing Devontae Smith run 5-yard curl routes and 5-yard in routes or 10-yard in routes and 10-yard curl routes or out routes. The most basic fucking routes that I would see anybody run. I could see him do that. I would see him do that. I see A.J. Brown doing nothing but like whatever routes that he had to run to basically be a decoy until he got frustrated and pissed off enough to where the coaches had to say, you know what, let's actually feed A.J. Brown the ball. Now, A.J. Brown isn't exactly blameless. Let's not get this out the way. Because, yes, he was correct in calling out the issues that this offense had. The motherfucker also had a down year. And that playoff game culminated in that down year, where I'm seeing him sitting up there having 3 critical drops in that game that could have shifted that whole game. He's not blameless, but he's not wrong either. Imagine being given the cars of a phenomenal sports car, of the McLaren F1. Imagine being given the keys of a car of the McLaren F1, the same McLaren F1 that won crazy ass Grand Prix races and shit. Say it was like the year before. It had all these races that it won, and it showcased what it could do in the right driver's hands. You're given the keys to that McLaren F1, and you crash it immediately a day after buying it. That's how it felt watching this 2025 Eagles offense. When I see Jalen Hurts sit up here and not do any runs damn near at all compared to what it was last year. You had this man turn into a fucking statue at quarterback when I know that's not what Jalen Hurts does. When I see Saquon Barkley literally having a lineman's ass in his face the minute he gets the ball, I know that's not Saquon Barkley. The shining light out of that whole offense was Dallas Goedert. And guess what? He's a free agent, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to be here. He might not be here after the season. And if he does come back, I'll be lucky. Our star tight end was the best receiver this year. Even though he didn't have the yards to prove it, he had the targets and the touchdowns to prove it. He was the best receiver. How do you have 3, 4, 5 superstar talent at offense and you misuse them that fucking bad? I will never understand. You have Saquon Barkley doing the same play, which is up the gut runs or outside zone runs. And then it's like, I'm looking at the defense. It's like, I know the defense can see what I'm seeing. I know I can see what they're trying to do when literally it was a second down call. And for you can attest to this. When literally anytime it was like a second or third down call, I'm like, they're going to run this ball and they're going to fail. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. I know it's bad when I'm calling plays from watching TV and it's getting that predictable. There's nothing more I hate than an offense that is so fucking predictable that you can sit there on TV, sit there watching from your TV, and you can see what the hell's about to happen before it even happens. He needed to go. He absolutely needed to go. He's the crux of the problem. So the reason why I see A.J. Brown as pissed off as he was, it's because of him. He wasn't that pissed off last year. Was he annoyed last year? Yes. Because he literally said, look, the passing game can do better. And what happened after he said that? The passing game got better. It sure as fuck got better come playoff time. Because the rest is history. We know what happened last year. To go from that to see how this went, it's a damn shame that this is a wasted year. I'm not going to sit here and say that we could repeat as Super Bowl champions. I'm not going to say that because it's very hard to do that. But what I will say is we should have been just as good, if not better, than what we were last year. And it's a fucking travesty. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the football terrorist is gone and out as an offensive coordinator. He's not out of Philadelphia, but he's out as an offensive coordinator. And I couldn't be any fucking happier to see it. I know it's crazy. When I see shit like this happening. This is a Texans fan, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how he reacted.
Those 3 things has to not be there. If all 3 of those things are there, it is unacceptable, and you can't really just overlook it.
They did it 3 minutes ago.
Literally while we're talking about it?
Patullo's gone. Oh, thank Christ. Oh, okay. My God.
I gotta say,
I hear fucking bells in the air, dude. Oh, my God.
Tell me about it. And that's not the only clip.
3 for 3.
Oh my God, I haven't felt this good since we killed Bin Laden. This is incredible.
Let me run that back.
And 3 for 3.
Oh my God, I haven't felt this good since we killed Bin Laden. This is incredible.
I haven't felt that good since we killed Bin Laden. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why the title of this podcast, when it goes to the sports, is that the football terrorist is gone. Take that information for what it is. And yes, I am putting that in quotes. I haven't felt that good since the football terror. I haven't felt that good since we killed Bin Laden. That is absolutely insane. Now, I'll give you a little context with Brett Kollmann real quick. Brett Kollmann, he's the kind of guy that you can see here, the creator of All 32. So what he does is he makes football videos. Sometimes he'll make football videos for the NFL, the actual NFL channel. He literally has all 22 footage, as in literally right after a game. They literally have an all 22 website on NFL.com, and you can look at everything that happened in that game, play by play, play after play, whether it's from a far away distance, whether it's from the side, doesn't matter which, you get a full on view with what happened each play, so you can see who was doing the right thing and who was doing the wrong thing. Basically, to dumb it down further, imagine a video game you play and you get an overhead view. That's literally how it is for football. But you're just rewatching it all on one thing. Like you're literally the built-in replay. So for him to have to say that, after watching as many videos that I know he watched on how bad this team has been, I get why he said that. And it ain't just from an Eagles fan perspective. It's literally in general, I get why you said that. So, before I go on ahead with the rest of this podcast, I know we're supposed to start on sports. We're not supposed to start on sports. We're supposed to start on all this other stuff. Like, we're supposed to start on, not this. We're supposed to start on Monster Hunter. We're supposed to start on gaming, anime, all this kind of stuff. Just know that you know it's bad if I'm starting on sports first. And sports is normally the last thing I cover on this podcast. It's been the last thing I will cover on this podcast since, what, episode 3? 2, 3, probably 4. Because I know that if I go off on a football tangent like I have just now, it's going to take forever. And then we won't be able to get to the topics at hand that we're supposed to talk about. But for me, this had to be done. This had to be done. Now, I will talk about all the other coaching situations that have happened. Because a lot happened thanks to Wild Card Weekend. And I gotta tell you, part 1 of the title, if y'all have seen it in the Discord, it was about to be called Wild Card Consequences. But seeing as the football terrorist is gone, he takes the cake in taking over the football title for this week. And rightfully fucking so. I'll say it like this. If everything else I have said about Ken Patullo is, doesn't ring in your head, just know that Eagles game that happened on Sunday that they lost to with the 49ers. The 49ers was down at least 5 or 6 people in this game. They were down their star tight end who played in this game. He left in the first half and tore his Achilles. George Kittle never returned in that game. Brandon Ayuk, their star wide receiver, did not play in this game. He has not played throughout the majority of the season. Nick Bosa is out of the season. He's out due to an injury. I believe it was a torn ACL or whatever it was that messed up his knee. He did not play this game, so they had no pass rush to speak of. Warner, their linebacker. I sadly forgot his first name. No, never mind. No. I know his first name. Fred Warner, an elite linebacker. If he keeps this up, he's on Hall of Fame level kind of linebacker. Did not play this game because he's also out with an injury for the season. Their cornerback situation is ass. Their safety situation is ass. Their run game, ass. So you see where I'm going with this. Even if, say, Kevin Patullo had did a marginal solid job as an offensive coordinator, that loss to that 49ers team completely decimated with injuries and they got embarrassed like that, that's grounds for termination. Right then and there. The only reason why the head coach isn't getting fired is because he had won the Super Bowl. I'm not kidding. That Super Bowl has bought Nick Sirianni at least 2 to 3 years more worth of time. Because if there's one thing we know with the Eagles, it's this. Just because you won a Super Bowl, that does not mean your job is forever safe. Look at Doug Peterson. He won our first Super Bowl back in 2018. And then 2020, he's gone. We don't settle when you bullshit around. And you're not supposed to settle. That's why you have the Browns right now. That's why you have the Browns. That's why you have the Jets. That's why you have the Giants. That's why you have the Titans. And at the time, for a brief period, and you look at them now, I guess because they waited and, you know what? I'll talk about them in a little bit. Because so far, they're the most dangerous team in the NFL. But we'll talk about that when we get there. All right. Let me stop from here. We spent 36 minutes. 36 minutes on Kevin Patullo. So, what's the next topic to talk about? Yes, I want to talk about I want to actually watch this, but I do need to talk about a couple other things as well. And they probably won't take long. But we'll see how we'll feel about this. So first things first, Chinese data miners have determined that the Nintendo Switch menu UI for Monster Hunter Wilds, they discovered it. This port is a done deal. Is it going to be a reveal on the next Nintendo Direct? This happened on New Year's Eve. I'll put it like this. I don't know if I had talked about it. No. I don't think I could have. No, because New Year's Eve was on a Tuesday, so no. This happened right after. And I didn't do the podcast last week. But yeah, so my thoughts on this. The Switch 2 having Wilds would be pretty interesting. Because now this tells me one thing and one thing only. If this is coming to Wilds, what does that mean for the rest of the Monster Hunter series? Like future Monster Hunter projects. You know what I mean? At the time, we had to take our time for when it... Well, not really take our time, but at the time, we had to get a good idea. Talking about, okay, this one's going to be for the PlayStation and for the Xbox. And then this one was going to come around, for either exclusively to the Switch or whatnot. Like what we just saw with Rise. My thing is, now with this, are we just going to start getting these Monster Hunter games, like, all together as we should? Because if so, that would be fucking great. I don't know if that was always the case, but I like the idea that the Switch 2 is going to get a, I guess you can say, a more modernized Monster Hunter title. Like, more like up-to-date graphically Monster Hunter title. So, I'm all for it, but here's one thing I'm definitely going to not be for. Okay? And this is not even about the Switch 2 having wilds. Capcom, I'm looking at you when it goes to this PC port with wilds right now. You let me find out if the Switch 2 version of this game runs better than the PC version of the game. We're going to have a very, very good conversation. A long discussion. If y'all think this with Kevin Patullo was bad, this is about to take the cake if this ends up being better. Or if Capcom can't figure it out. Because no fucking way do I sit up there and I spend my hard-earned money on a game that has a port this fucking bad to where I have to use mods to fix the game. And I mean almost entirely fix the game and make it playable and make it so I can stream it. Each and every day that people get on Monster Hunter Wilds on the consoles, and each and every day I wish that I had gotten on there. That I had bought it for my PS5. So I hope and pray that before this becomes a thing, before this comes out, they fix this problem. And I mean really, really fix this problem. So, I don't know if y'all have any thoughts with this, but that's my real true thoughts of this. And it's like, I don't got a problem with it. In fact, you know what? I welcome that, sure. The more hunters, the better. My thing is, and it's, like I said before, I'm going to have some problems if this runs better than what I had originally bought it for, which was for the PC. Now, I have one more thing to talk about, and then I'm going to get to the CJ video. It's when it goes to... I didn't realize this was AI, by the way, but yeah, it's when it goes to Twitter, or X, so to speak. This is about the artists. Artists right now are in limbo. Granted, they've been in limbo for a few years, but now they're truly in limbo in terms of where to promote their work, and I don't blame them. So for anyone that doesn't know what's going on, Elon Musk decided, okay, let's double down on the AI situation. Let's double down on our AI bot Grok real quick, right? So this is what's going down. Literally, right here, I don't know if y'all see it, but on the bottom right of this image with Fukarga here, I literally press edit image and they make it so that, look, this is what's going on. They'll literally have it right here where you could just type down, okay, what do you want to edit the image into? Not a good look. Okay? Now, this was making rounds all over the place throughout the past 2 weeks. And what's been going on as of late is artists have been trying their best to scramble and migrate over to spots where they don't have to deal with this as much, or, you know, make it easier for AI to sit up there and scrap their works, or people, or quote unquote AI artists to scrap their works and turn it into one of their own and make profit off of it. I see it this way. And it's a damn shame that I have to say it like this, but I see it this way. This is fucking terrible. And this ain't it. However, I'm also going to see it this way, okay? No matter where you go, yes, I'm going to support you and be with you wherever you want to go. If you're not comfortable with where you are, I'm all for it. I will be right there to follow. I'll be right there to support you. Yeah, Twitter has the rights to your posts or whatever and feeds to the AI, but I don't know if that's false or not. I think, yeah, no, that's actually true. That part's true, but that's true long ago. That been announced. This is making it even easier for that when you're out here just editing images and you're making it into a thing. Here's where, like I said, this is a bit of more of a problem. You can go to Blue Sky, and this will still be a thing on Blue Sky, okay? Now, it's not as prevalent, it's not as crazy as you'll see with the AI art. I'll say that right now. I don't see much, if not any AI art at all when it goes to Blue Sky, but you know it's there. Like, you're aware that it's there. It's just not as crazy as it is. Now, there's that, and then of course there's a site that I found that was called Kara. My thing is, you have this spot right here. This spot is literally all about you just having to sit up there and just post shit as an artist. They're not for it when it goes to the whole AI crap. They'll be able to tell if something's AI art or not. You know what I mean? So I'm shocked that websites like this isn't getting much attention. But then again, when I look at it, I shouldn't be shocked because there's one thing that Kara does not have that's holding it back entirely. Can y'all take a good guess at what it is that they don't have? Because I could just outright tell you, and it's a damn shame, but you know, it's the state of the world when it goes to how people see art now. I'll give y'all like a couple seconds until y'all can figure that out. But yeah, it's definitely crazy to me because websites like this should definitely get their attention when you have, like, this is all artists. This is all their stuff. This is all what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be supporting and showing love, right? Look no further than this. This should be your safe haven right now. Even got shit like this here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and tell y'all. The reason why Kara isn't getting much of an attention is because, of course, 3, 2, 1. Kara does not allow you to post not safe for work. That's literally the only reason why it's not getting talked about as much as it should. I shit you not. Like, not safe for work is practically integral when it goes to art at this point, is why and I'm going to say this outright, it's why I completely respect artists such as yourself, Fuyu, such as Winter, when y'all say y'all want absolutely nothing to do when it goes to the not safe for work art portions of it, at least not as heavily into it like anyone else would. Because that's not what you want to be known for. So you would think with that, okay, people would respect that and be like, you know what, alright, fine, I'm still going to follow you for your works, but you know they're going to try to be like, you know what, damn, I really wish this artist did not safe for work. And I'll be honest, I fell into that trap too. But more and more I start to understand, it's like, you know what, nah, like, we need to take a step back and get a good reminder that, look, y'all gotta love art for what it is. Like, look, if the artist can draw, they can motherfucking draw. You know what I mean? If they can do it, have them fucking do it. However they see fit. If they don't want to become a not safe work artist, that's their cue. If they want to, that's their thing. That's their cue. But spots like this that shouldn't, spots like this that blatantly tell you, look, AI art ain't it, get it out of my sight. Spots like this should be treasured. Because not a whole lot of art spots have it like that anymore. You can't go to DeviantArt like this. DeviantArt, I think they allow it now, right? DeviantArt used to be that site where it used to be fucking cool as shit. Now nobody talks about it anymore. And this is before the whole AI wave took over, but they just decided to go ahead and go all in with it. I mean, I know there's Fur Affinity, but we know what Fur Affinity is. We know what Ink Bunny is. I'm sure we have an idea. You just see outright not safe for work now in DeviantArt. This is what I'm saying. Goes back to what I'm saying, man. Yeah, DA implemented their own AI art thing. So this literally confirms exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, bro, sites like Kara should be fucking cherished. Okay? The fact that they say no to this shit and they say, nah, you post your own stuff, you do it your way, this is how it needs to be done. Sites like this needs to be cherished. And they own your art. You lose the rights to your art if you post on DeviantArt. So they're no different either. Just like Twitter. The only reason that there is, the only reason why I will understand why no one wants to post anything on, the only reason why I get that people are still posting things on Twitter right now is because they've built up their fan base through Twitter. And it's hard for you to sit up there and tell someone, look, I'm going to go over to a different spot. I'm going to go over to Blue Sky. Oh, I'm going to go over, which, by the way, they don't promote AI, but it's in there, if that makes sense what I'm trying to tell you. So, it's hard to do that when, Blue Sky is too fucking similar to Twitter, and they need to break out of that. I thought that was supposed to be the thing, where people was breaking out of, Twitter and becoming their own thing. More and more people are going over to Toy House. I need to see what Toy House is all about, so when you can show me. There's more of a character manager. They need to start coming over here. But again, this goes back to my point. The only thing that's holding Kara back is not having not safe for work. That's it. I'm literally not kidding. That's the only thing holding this site back for really getting talked about a lot more than it should. Because I can tell you this right now. Twitter does not have your back when shit like this exists. When they say, okay, anybody could take this and fuck it up any way they see fit. They don't have your back. So this is what I'll put it like this here. Whether it's on Blue Sky, whether it's on Kara, whether it's whatever site y'all want to go ahead and post your art on, artists, y'all gotta take that stand. And I'm sure I said this a few weeks ago. I said this right around the last podcast, around like episode 99 or so. I'm like, look, y'all gotta take the stand. It's either that or y'all showed that apparently y'all don't care about y'all works as much as y'all should. Because y'all gotta have some dignity and be like, alright, this shit ain't it no more. I'm leaving. I don't care. I understand for some people that do care. You know what? Yeah, how else are people gonna know your art? But if you have confidence in your fan base and what you build, it should not matter where you go. What should matter is wherever you go, you know this for a fact. You have some integrity to know, be like, all right, look, they're gonna find my art again. They're gonna find them again. And it's not like it will be hard to find. Don't make it hard to find. Promote other websites that you go on. Make a Discord. You don't even got to make it for chatting. You could just make it for keeping your history. Make a toy house like you just mentioned, Fuyu. Like, the excuse for me personally is wearing thin when people try to say, and I know I just said it, but the excuse for me is wearing thin when people sit up there and they say, look, I've already built up what I had to build up and I don't want it to go away. It wears thin when you can easily still tell people with the fan base you have. You can easily tell people, okay, I'm promoting arts here and here now. If you want to see them, that's where I'm going. Other than that, it's locked off. I don't care no more. This spot in particular is locked off. I don't want my art to get trained. I don't want my art to get copied. I don't want anyone to take my art and make money off of it. Because it's fucking disgusting. So, I'll just leave it at that. Fuyu, Omega, Dre, anyone else that's here, I'll just point it like that. It's like, look, if y'all really got that integrity, y'all should understand that saying that, oh, I don't want to leave because I built up what I've built up here, at some point, that starts to go thin. At some point, it's not about whether or not you want to stay for your people. At some point, it gets looked at as, oh, okay, so you just don't care then. Toy House is an elitist club with too many rules. It makes no sense. Hey, like I said, there's Kara. Oh, by the way, there's VGen. There's VGen. And I've commissioned a good chunk. I commissioned so far one artist, WASD. I commissioned her. Y'all know that. Let me go and find it real quick. Now, granted, what sucks with VGen is, like you said, when it goes to getting an invite code, it's the same thing here. You need an invite code with that. But yeah, as you can see, I'll gladly support my fellow people. Not a big problem with me. I'm gonna make sure I commission them again at some point. VGen has too many rules for my liking. It's a sell art service. Like what, if I may ask? I'll make sure I talk with them again so that way I'm ready. Yeah, when you can, you definitely do tell me what you mean by that. I just hear too much, I forget. Oh, okay, well, whenever you can. Whenever you can. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, artists, y'all got options. Kara's looking at you dead in the face, so I ain't trying to hear it. And if y'all scared of y'all shit getting, you know, when it goes to safe for work stuff, Kara's right in front of your face. Okay? The not safe for work end, if y'all want to go ahead and still post that on the Twitter, go ahead. But you know what? Y'all could just use Fur Affinity. Y'all could just use, like I said, Blue Sky is an option. You could just use Blue Sky. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Your options are right there. I ain't trying to hear the shit because your options are looking at you dead in the face. Alright, so now it's time for me to take a break by watching this video. CJ dropped this vid 2 hours ago, literally an hour before I started stream. I said, oh my god, he really did just drop this. So, for anyone that don't want to watch, I will go ahead and alert you and let you know when I'm going to get to the next topic, which is, of course, I will be talking more about, well, not just this one with anime. I will be talking about Valve. because Valve did something very, very interesting. In fact, very, very cool that I hope that other companies take a good look at for good reason, particularly GOG. When it goes to mods, I really, really hope they do this. I will be talking about that. I will be talking about, of course, the GPU problem. I'll be talking about a good chunk of this stuff right after this video. So right now, let's take a look at this.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So she walks up to this one guy, and he was panicking like, oh Lord, somebody stop her! I'll marry my daughter off to anyone brave enough to challenge this on!
Oh, here we go.
Alrighty, ladies
I couldn't wait for this.
Welcome to this, special emergency impromptu mini trial. And yes, I'm saying this is an emergency because I'm gonna be real. This video was not planned at all, let alone be the first video of the year. But after the things that I have witnessed in this anime called May I Ask for One Final Thing, I had to lock in and make this video because I refuse to let this demon fly under the radar. Niggas must know her name. And
yes.
Who am I talking about exactly? I'm talking about the queen of belt to ass, Scarlet Ella Van Diemen. Because good God, the way she be doing some people in this show, Lord have mercy. So you know what? I'm not even gonna waste no more time. I'm gonna let this evidence do the talking. So without further ado, let's get this mini trial started, shall we?
Oh my God.
Exhibit A, laying out multiple niggas in a ballroom. Now, what you're about to witness is...
I still enjoy OG PSO so much more. Hey, you know what? If I have time, I'm willing to get back on that for a little bit.
Is literally like the first scene in the show. Like, this might be one of the most valid and satisfying crash outs of all time. Now, let me set the stage real quick. This is Mrs. Scarlet Ella Van Diemen. And this pompous dickwad right here is Prince Kyle, the heir to the throne of their kingdom, and also her fiance that literally just broke up with her 5 seconds ago in the middle of this party and left her for this random snaggle-toothed harlot. Now this was an arranged marriage that she was
That's one way to
into
put it.
when she was like 9.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna be fair. World should not get the amount of hate that it gets, considering you have Wilds right there staring at you dead in the face. What Wilds has done, I know the expansion hasn't come out yet, and I know World has a full body of work, but what Wilds has done, it's terrible. I ain't gonna hold you. I just had to stop and say that because World does not deserve the, World doesn't deserve this.
Always treated her like garbage. Bro was a spoiled.
Was it perfect? No. No. But World, it wasn't this bad. Not like this.
Baby ass kid with no house training and thought that his wife should be a slave and serve him 24/7. Like this dude was a bottom of the barrel human being. And over time, Scarlet just grew to hate every single atom in this man's body. Now, Scarlet always had a little bit of a temper when she was growing up. And one of her favorite hobbies as a kid was, I kid you not, beating the shit out of niggas. She loved to fight. She loved
Yup. Scarlet grew up wanting to beat the living hell out of people. Like, she literally practically said, if my fists don't see blood, it's a problem.
You disrespectful, ignorant, rich motherfuckers. And she did all this simply for the love of the game. So when old boy just straight up tried to embarrass her in front of a crowd full of rich
blood
nobles,
on fists from cocky rich people.
The camel's back because this idiot was a dead man walking. So our Prince Kyle was just dogging on her and saying shit like, "And look, everyone, feast your eyes on this primitive mongrel gorilla bitch. This woman is a vile harlot who harassed me every day and treated my bodacious
Hey, you know what? You know what? I got a better way to compare Scarlett to. And this will be the last pause I'll do. Scarlett is what would happen. Scarlett is what would happen if Scarlett is what would happen if Ray Jang became like, you know, like, yeah, she's literally a Ray Jang, to put it simply. A built up raging fucking monkey like Ray Jang. Not even a monkey, a raging ape like Ray Jang with fucking red fist already. Like furious Ray Jang, but she literally somehow, some way just did not let her temper explode until it was time to let it explode. That sums up Scarlett in a nutshell. At least for me. Ray Jang was based on Super Saiyans and Akuma. Yeah, pretty much. This is about creation with FOC interviews. It's amazing how they had it's amazing that's the case with Ray Jang, but yet for some reason, we never got Akuma versus Ray Jang itself. Ain't that some shit?
Piece like a filthy commoner. Everyone laugh at this woman. So while the whole room was laughing at her, Scarlett was like, fine, I don't care. But then she decided to ask Prince Kyle for one final thing before
Scarlett
she left.
is a fucking
She
Ray
walked
Jang, bro.
up to him, looked him dead in the face,
as in
and
want
said,
nothing but smoke.
Request I must ask. May I kindly knock the teeth out of this craven two-faced bitch?
That is exactly what she says.
So while the whole room was in shock, Scarlett didn't waste a single second. She charged up a left hook from hell and clocked Shorty right in the jaw.
Oh my god.
Look at this impact in slow-mo real quick. She caved in the left side of her face and also broke her nose in one punch. And look at her on the ground, man. The bitch got rocked so hard her body started twitching like a dead roach. So after Scarlett hit the side piece with 5 milligrams of melatonin to make her go night-night, she just decided, you know what? Every last one of you ignorant motherfuckers in this room will be receiving belt to ass, sponsored to you by yours truly. So she walks up to this one guy, and he was panicking like, oh Lord, somebody stop her! I'll marry my daughter off to anyone brave enough to challenge this hard. I ain't gonna lie. Bro had to go. The nigga really just offered up his own daughter as a reward to stop her. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
What? But I'ma be real. This wasn't even the worst thing that was said. Cause bro right here said, anyone protect me. I'll give you anything. Even my wife. Please, John.
Damn.
This nigga really
my
just
god.
offered up his wife and said that he
offered up his wife
to save his own ass. Oh, nah! So after bro got sent to the cuck chair, Scarlett just starts to blow rush everybody and lay out every single person in the room. Nobody was safe.
No
every
one.
single motherfucker in that room got dropped on their ass and sent to Dreamland.
Ray Jang,
so
y'all.
she left everybody in the
all
room
fists.
on 1 HP. The last man standing, well, really not because he was scared sitting on his ass the whole time, was none other than Prince Kyle. And she straight up told him, get up, my precious Pookie Bear. Let's enjoy this final dance together, shall we? As she comes in with a right hook of doom. And just look at this dude's face. Bro had to have shat his pants, and he had to be thinking in his last seconds.
Damn, he really about to rock my shit.
She said
and that's
to the
oh my god.
His soul had to have left his body for at least a little bit, because the way that he flew into that wall, that nigga should be dead. And just like that, Scarlett walked him down Vendimian just casually annihilated every single person in that room because they all simply pissed her off.
I don't blame her.
Alrighty, ladies.
I don't blame her.
Let's move on to Exhibit B. Squad wiping a pack of muggers. So one day while Scarlett was on the hunt to find a man named Jump, she ended up getting surrounded
every
by
bit of
5
this
muggers
show.
who tried to jump her and rob her. But this ended up being the biggest mistake these 5 background characters would ever make in their lives, because they were about to be the recipients of another case of belt to ass. Now, we can clearly see from these muggers' faces that they thought this was gonna be the easiest lick of their lives. And I mean, you can't blame them. They probably thought, oh shucks, look what we have here, boys. Looks like a Disney princess reject whose film went straight to DVD.
DVD's crazy.
Yeah, Billy Joe, you got that right.
Oh no.
Rob this bitch. Y'all see that? That's Disney money, nigga. But these niggas should have known something was wrong with Shorty the moment they looked at her face. She is smiling right now because she has an excuse to whoop these niggas. Like, bro, look at her
she has the
maid
perfect
to the
excuse.
left. He is scared shitless. And it's not even because of the muggers. He's scared of what she's about to do to them. And what really sealed their fates is when they started bragging about beating up a kid that sold a rock to her.
Oh no! Y'all gave her a
So at
green
this
light.
point, these niggas were dead men walking. So she immediately rushes the bald nigga and hits him so hard the nigga's body spun out midair. Lord have mercy. Let's run that back real quick. First off, look at his face before the impact. Dude couldn't even react at all. All he could have been thinking about was the same shit old boy was thinking about in the ballroom. Damn. She really about to rock my shit. Then look at the hit. The nigga's body spun a total of 6 times before it finally hit the ground. So after the ball
Turn
nigga
into a
was done
fucking
spinning,
put him in the
instantly
spin
pulls up
cycle.
Will Byers with this fuck-ass bowl cut, then hits him with the kidney shot so hard.
Which is
the nigga's
perfectly
body contorted.
apropos. The Werehog theme is perfectly apropos for this.
And floated midair. Then this crackhead with his absolutely atrocious bald fade, like that ass bro, real shit, kill your barber nigga. Anyways, bro, he tried to swing on her, but she ends up launching him into the stratosphere.
Oh
the
my
nigga
lord.
floated up there so long, she turned the man into a Cardi album cover. Then when he was finally starting to fall, she decides to finish the combo. As she kicks this
Oh
dude
my
so
god,
hard,
his back
she
is
pulls his back out and splats his body on the tree. This is another case of somebody that should be dead. With the 2-piece that she just hit this man with, there should be a 0.01 survivability rate on that combo. So after she just finished banishing the first 3 to the Shadow Realm, the other 2 were so shook they couldn't even move. And the nigga with the eye patch ended up realizing, wait a minute, blue eyes and silver hair? Oh, hell no! You're the shorty who was rumored to beat up everybody in the ballroom that night! The lady of Beatons, Scarlett! Yeah, not gonna lie, at this point, if literal criminals and thugs cower in fear just of your name being said alone, you got it, gang. I don't want no types of problems. So she walks up to Eye Patch nigga, who is just straight up stun locked, and she just knocks him out with no hesitation. Then she ends up walking up to the last guy, who tried to hold up a knife to him, but she just slapped it out of his hands. And he immediately dropped to his knees and started begging for his life. The dude was so scared, he ended up ratting out who Junk was and where he was. The dude that she was looking for the entire time. This dude was generally shaking. He was scared that she was going to kill him. So after he basically told her what she wanted, she told him, thank you kindly. And when bro thought he was off the hook, she gives him a right hook to the jaw.
Oh no.
Well,
thank you so much.
Stitches?
Bam.
Stitches. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our final exhibit for this little mini trial. And after seeing this, I just knew she was one of them ones. So, Exhibit C, sliming out a auction house. Now, next up on Scarlett's belt to ass crusade was a foul old man named Sir Godwin.
Here we go,
Now,
the
Godwin
last
was an evil old
exhibit.
bastard who ran an illegal slave auction and sold slaves to
I have
evil
one more
rich
fun
nobles.
tip for
So
you guys
basically, this man was at the
after
top of
he
her
talks
hit list
about this,
because
when it
beating
goes
up
to that
people like this
exhibit.
as well her favorite
In fact,
hobby.
all of them.
So the moment she walked in the auction house, she just started whooping everybody's ass in a 5-mile radius.
Oh my God.
And I ain't gonna lie, this right here is one of the most brutal ways I've ever seen somebody get slammed out. She shoved the bottom of her heel into his face. I don't know what kind of injury that is, but I just know one thing for sure. He is going to need facial reconstruction surgery after that because holy God.
Heel
So
to
she
the
ends up
bridge of
throwing
the
this nigga
nose?
into the door so she could make her entrance. And the moment Godwin saw her, the nigga knew him and everybody in that room were cooked. Now, the way she cooked everybody in this room is actually one of the most insane things I've ever seen. All you see is her hysterically laughing while holding some random unconscious nigga by the leg and
my
spinning
God.
in a circle so fast, she ended up turning herself into a human tornado. Look at this one dude.
Oh, he's
His
dead.
head got stuck in the roof.
He's
and
dead.
Bro became a human chandelier. And this other dude ended up getting thrown all the way out to the dining room
Oh
and
my
went
God.
straight through a table. So after she was done spinning, all you see behind her is a pile of bodies stacked on top of each other. And you know what's crazy? She didn't even know herself if they were dead or alive. Now, I'm gonna be real. If I'm a betting man and I had to guess
They're
the
dead.
dudes who died in all that chaos, I'm going with number 1, the first guy that she was spinning around because he was probably
Number
brain
2 is
dead
the
off
guy
all
up in
that
the
spinning.
chandelier.
Number
He's dead.
2, the nigga who became a human chandelier. And number 3, the dude that got flung from the balcony into a table. Like, I think I can confidently say that those 3 are 99.9% dead. But while everybody in the room was getting cooked, Godwin and his son ended up escaping and tried to leave with their hired getaway driver. But before they could even leave, Scarlett comes from the top rope and curb stomps Godwin's son's skull into the pavement. Yeah, not gonna lie, if we want to add another
Yup,
body
Seth
of a person
Rollins.
that should be dead, then old boy right here
Yup,
gotta
number
be
4.
number
Yup,
4,
you got
because
Seth
there
Rollins to
is
death,
no
bro.
way
Goddamn.
anybody should survive.
Stomp that
Just look at her
motherfucker
casually
with the
standing
heels
on
in a
the
dress.
After she curb stomped old boy into oblivion, the dude on the dragon comes down and he does,
No.
well, the unthinkable. He gets down on one knee and asks her to marry him. Hey, bro. This nigga saw how strong she was and immediately decided to risk it all. But I mean, hey, the
my
worst she can say
God.
is no, right? Right? Well, at least he shot his shot.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
tried.
So after that happened, the
He
dragon
tried.
tried to take a bite out of her, but she grabs it by the tooth and slams it in the ground. And she straight up told the dragon to behave itself. Now, after she
Oh my
laid
God.
out the dragon, the dude basically gets up, and this persistent motherfucker tried to propose again. But Scarlett looked
I'll
at
talk
him
about
like,
that
no
after
means
this.
no,
I have a
and
feeling
kicks
it's
him to
almost
the
over.
side again. So the dude gets up again, and he reveals that he's a prince from another empire that was sent here to kill Godwin. But Scarlett was like, hell nah, that's my sack of meat to beat up on, not yours, buddy. So Scarlett ends up pulling off one of the dirtiest moves of all time. She goes in and grabs him by the head like she's about to kiss him. And look at this nigga. He looking like, oh my God, shoot, and I hit. Great fuck, nigga! But bro couldn't have predicted what was about to happen next. She rams her knee into his face, and she didn't stop there. She kept on hitting him over and over and over.
UFC!
Again. She gave this man undiscoverable levels of CTE. So when bro was completely out of it, she grabs him by the shirt and
He's
tells
done.
him, get your bitch ass out of my sight, and shoves his body to
Team
God knows what.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Right after getting
Y'all
a
should already
concussion,
know the
he's
edit
done.
I'm about to make on this clip. So let's run that back one more time.
Thank you, CJ.
Such a classic. So after Scarlett sent his horny ass packing, she was all alone with God. And you can see just by her face, she's ready to beat his old ass to a pulp. So she ends up using her overclock ability. That basically is just,
Yes.
and
Yes.
she starts giving this man a punch for every single sin he has committed. So when time ended up moving again, Godwin took every single punch that she landed at once, and his body just got flung into the wall. So after she sent bro into the wall, it looks like it was all over. Her friends came out saying, oh my gosh, Scarlett, you did a great job whooping his ass. But when they looked back at the wall, Godwin was gone. And he pulled back up with a whole blink So he ends up trying to switch her down, but motherfucking Prince Charming jumped in front of it, taking a bullet for it. So
First
Scarlet
move is crazy.
This enraged the hell out of her. So she jumps at this nigga and Superman punches him. Then she picks up his limp body, snatches his chain, because that was the reason he even survived the Zoroark attack in the first place, because it was blessed by a goddess. Then she punches this man in the mouth.
Oh my God.
Then picks up his body one last time while holding him by the neck and just death stares him like,
better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Oh no! God.
And
played
after
that?
This, everybody in the auction house got arrested if they weren't already dead. Godwin's body was found and this nigga was barely breathing. I don't even know how he lived, but you know, we can just add that as number 5 as a person that should be dead. And last but not least, the horny ass prince was found all the way back in his country, stuck in a random tree. Oh, and I almost forgot one more last thing. You remember that big ass dragon that she told to behave itself? Yeah, she tamed it and now that's her pet.
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was probably the easiest pass I've ever done. Like, the way she was doing some of these niggas just had to be studied. From knocking everybody out in a ballroom, reverse jumping, making herself a whole tornado, then curb stomping niggas from the top rope. Like, this is a nasty resume. And just to make this even crazier, let me say this. The people that have already watched this show already know this, but I built a whole 3-exhibit case with 5 episodes.
Never mind, he already did it. Never mind. Never mind. 5 freaking episodes out of what? I think it's what, 12? 5 out of 12 that was needed. Scarlet, you got it.
5 episodes. All of that you just saw was literally just the first arc. If this wasn't a mini trial, we would have probably went up to like exhibit G or F. We would have been here for a damn hour. Shit, who knows? If y'all rock with this video, I may make 3 more exhibits in the future. So yeah, Scarlet, welcome down Van Diemen. She got it, bro, because this was just ridiculous. So hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe.
That was fast. 5 freaking episodes of watching a character sit up there, not take shit from anyone, is royalty, but in her mind she's like, you know what, I'm just waiting for y'all to pull the most dumbest shit possible just so I got the green light to fuck y'all up. Unbelievable. And I enjoyed every bit of that show. So hey, it's like I said it in the chat. It's like I said in the chat, like I said in the Discord. If you like a show where the character is a female and she's all about the hands and is a main character, go watch this shit, because you deserve it to yourself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This was one exhibit I could not wait to personally see. And I'm happy that for the first of the year, we got to see it together. Because, oh my fucking God. Look, I binge watched this shit and was done in literally 2 days. I was done in 2 days. And all I had was smiles on my face. Seeing her just beat people the fuck up that absolutely deserved it. Alright. Oh my God. Alright, so speaking of some anime news, we got more of it. Black Lagoon author says the anime's comeback this year is not impossible. So for anyone that likes seeing Black Lagoon, I know one person in particular because he put me on it. Looking at you, Masa. Hopefully we get more Black Lagoon, because if you see it from the manga perspective, Roberta, the maid, Roberta, what you saw from Roberta in the anime, with how she lost her fingers and how she got injured and lost her leg, that's non-canon. In the manga, she keeps all of that. And she's still out on the prowl. So, yeah. Do that information with what you will. Next, we got GPUs for PC. NVIDIA and AMD is going to significantly increase GPU prices. What? Oh, you went to go grab some water? Okay, so I'll go ahead and make it quick. Black Lagoon says that the anime coming back is not impossible. And like I said with Roberta, if you remember seeing Black Lagoon, if you saw Roberta lose her arms and her legs, that was non-canon. She keeps all of her arms and legs, and she's still going nuts. But yeah, like I said from here, when we go into the GPU side of things with PCs, NVIDIA and AMD to significantly increase GPU prices starting next month. It describes the RTX 5090 increasing from 2,000 to 5,000. Oh my lord. Both companies are reportedly planning to continue to raise GPU prices every month going forward, and it's likely that the price increase will extend across their entire product lineup, encompassing not only consumer GPUs, but also GPUs for AI data centers and servers. I will say this once. I said this once. I said this twice. And I will say this again. Anyone that has a PC nowadays, let alone even a laptop, cherish what you have. I'm not playing. These companies are going to nickel and dime the living shit out of you. Let me go ahead and give y'all an idea with what I'm talking about. Let me give y'all my PC setup right now so you can get where I'm coming with this. Okay? Let me look up my, not this one, AMD. Let me give y'all my AMD one. And you know what? Yeah, I'll give you this too. Because this also now costs a lot of money. I'll give you this with the Ryzen 5800 X3D. I'll give you all that. And then, of course, here's this. Now, my RAM that I have currently installed on my computer, guess what? I can't find it. Like, it's not even available. But look at this shit. $779. If I was to sell this GPU again, it would be $779. When I paid for this 3 years ago, I paid $392. I paid $400 basically for that GPU. $400. Unbelievable. When it goes to the CPU, the Ryzen 7 5800 X3D, let me see all the buying options. $613, $620, $700. $700. I'm gonna make sure I look at this from another way, because I kind of fucked that part up. My bad. God damn it. Where the fuck is it that I can do this? You know what? No. I got a better idea. Let me go ahead and copy the link. Oh, I could just use this one. I'm a dumbass. Alright. Okay. So when I paid for that GPU, this was $400. This was $400. When I paid for the CPU, I got away with murder. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I got away with so much murder. I paid $300. $779 for this one. And I don't know why it's doing that, but okay. $779 for this one. And at the very least, if you wanted to get just the good version, it would have to be $613. But if you want to get the best of the best, you have to pay $700. This is not even talking about the RAM. This is not even talking about you getting the case. This is not even talking about you getting the motherboard. For you having to full-on build a PC setup, this is at least $3,000. So yes, people, I recommend, if you have a PC setup right now, if you have a laptop setup right now, take great care of your products. Please, to God, I beg you, clean that shit out. If you have to, like if you have a desktop, if you have to, open that shit up. Get like a blower. Get like, and hold on. Let me go and look this shit up. PC blowers. No, not PC blowers. What they call it? Canned airs. Yeah, get like canned air or some shit like that. Get stuff like this and clean that shit out. All that dust will make life a lot harder for your computer. When you have stuff like this and you open it up, it makes your life easier. It makes life easier for it. That way you clean it out. It can still run in good performance like how it was when you first bought it. One other thing that also helps here and there, you don't have to do it a whole lot, but what helps here and there is when you change out the thermal paste, like you just saw on the orders where I bought some new thermal paste. So that way I can keep my computer running good, keep the CPU running good. Because I can tell you this right now, that 5800X3D, that shit ain't moving out that PC case unless I'm ready. Unless this shit dies, it ain't going nowhere. Like, unless the whole CPU bubble, the AI bubble with all this goes away, it's staying there. And it's going to stay there for a long time. So I implore you, take care of your products. Now more than ever, take care of your products. And by the way, if you don't think for a second that this won't affect the current console gaming market, it will. It can and it will. Omega, you said that it's a stretch. You think it's a stretch for the Steam machine that costs $600. I believe I had talked about this before, but I will gladly repeat again. How much does the PS5 Pro cost? And how much does the Xbox Series X now cost? For anyone, and by the way, I want you to actually take a guess. Please do not look it up on your phone. Please do not look it up on your computer. Like, actually take a good guess at how much that shit costs right now. I'll give y'all a good 20 seconds. No, not even 20 seconds. That's too generous. I'll give y'all a good 10 seconds. 10, 20 seconds. Okay, Fuyu, you said $750 to $800 for Xbox. Omega, I'm going to wait on you. And Dre, if you're still here, I'm going to wait on you. I'm going to wait on the both of y'all. For y'all to give me that answer. I'm going to give you, look, y'all got 10 seconds before I look this shit up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's look up how much a PS5 Pro costs right now. A PS5 Pro right now costs $749. So Fuyu was right on the mark. That's just for PlayStation. She was right on the mark. Now, if you was to say grab it strictly from there, I want to see what the taxes would be. $808 when you put in taxes. So yeah, just about. $750 with no taxes, $800 with no taxes. Xbox Series X. Let's take a look at this. The Xbox Series X right now costs $733. This is just Amazon, by the way. God forbid if I go on any other website. The best you got is down below where it says, okay, buying more choices, and you'll see $519. But even then, that's risky. You'll see like good, very good, 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 good. You know what I mean? It's very risky when you go from there, but still. Official spots like this have it as $733 fucking dollars. It's because Xbox announced they were raising prices again, especially for a 2 terabyte model. Look up the Galaxy 2 terabyte Series X. Will do. Gladly. I can't do shit in this game. By the way, yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, to answer your question with why the maps suck, now you're going through what I went through. It's a shame that the maps do suck, but here's one other issue I have with EA right now when it goes to Battlefield. Is not only do the maps suck, is that they're actually taking their time to a fault. Because the maps are not good, we don't have any other maps to play on. And that's a problem. We have no other maps to play on. I can't find anybody and I keep getting sweat lords. Yeah. If you have to, Omega, get off the game for a bit. You could go back on Delta Force, but I know that ain't any better either. They do better in Delta Force? Then hey, have at it. Have at it. Xbox Series X 2 terabyte disk drive Galaxy Black Special Edition bundle, which includes the Special Edition wireless controller. Official price is $1,037. Buying choices just for a very good version is $769. And that's the cheapest you're going to get. The retail value is supposed to be $800, and it ain't that far off when you take a look at it to where it's like, okay, it's practically $900 then. So it's not that far off. It's overpriced retail value, but in full on total, it ain't that far off. They want you to pay close to $1,000 for a console. Close to $1,000. Let me look up a gaming PC real quick. A gaming PC nowadays, you can see this one's $2,000. This one's 1,000. This one's 1,000. This was 1,000. This one's 1,000. But let's be fair. This one's 2,000. This one's 1,000. 1,000. You see the trend here? You see where I'm going with this? 687. 700. 1,000. 800. 2,000. Let's be fair. 500. 2,000 and 500. 500. You see where I'm going with this? People, this is why I laughed my ass off when people sat up there and legitimately got mad with the Steam machine, possibly off of speculation alone. Because of what Linus Tech Tips said when he went up there and he talked to Valve and he said, "Yo, are you guys gonna be pricing this as a console or not?" And they looked at him and they shook and they just laughed and they like, no, we're pricing this like a PC." I laughed. Look at how dangerously close console gaming nowadays is getting to PC gaming prices. There's PCs right here that are either equal in price or a bit more cheaper than the current consoles right now. But y'all want to bitch about the Steam machine? Look, bro. If the Steam machine was to cost $600 right now, I shit you not, the Steam machine is going to break barriers. Now, it ain't going to be perfect. It's not going to be running on the level of a PS5, at least not entirely, in terms of like, oh, okay, can the Steam machine play games at 4K or something like that? No. It's not going to. And it doesn't have to. You want to know why it doesn't have to? Because more often than not, everybody still plays their video games at 1080p. And that's why it was made in the first place. It was made for gamers that don't give a flying fuck about quality. Instead, they just want a good PC to just run games and chill out with. If the Steam machine costs $600, the Xbox is already cooked, but Sony side of things with the PlayStation, they are in trouble. Because here's the big kicker here that no one talks about when it goes to the Steam machine that I'll gladly go ahead and elaborate. You pay $600 once for that Steam machine, right? It's yours. Period. Like, you don't have to worry about memberships, which is going to add on to more than what you just bought with the console alone. That's just getting the console. That's just the first step. Then after that, you have to get games for said console. Then after that, you have to pay for memberships of said console. Right? Look at the Steam machine. You get it one good time. All you have to do is link your Steam that you already got games with it in the first place. You're already done there. That's just part one of this step. Oh, wait, you want to see something else that's even more cool? Here we go. And I'm sure I talked to y'all about this a couple episodes ago. But I'll go ahead and elaborate again. Because the Steam machine is being looked at as just simply a PC, you now have access to emulation. Which is what PlayStation does not want to give you. Which is what Nintendo does not want to give you. which is what Xbox does not want to give you. You have full-on unlimited access to emulation, and a lot of people nowadays, they're about to start prioritizing backlog, which is what I talked about back in episode 99, 98. Now, if there was any games that you had never played back during the PS2 era, back during the Nintendo DS era, the GameCube era, the NES, the PS1, the Atari, whatever the fuck it was, all you have to do is look it up hard enough, and it ain't going to be that hard to find. And there you go. You instantly got it, and you can play it. Oh, and here's the other good thing that just like the Nintendo Switch has, you can take that shit with you. So, y'all saw me earlier play the Warriors with my cousin. You want to know the one other issue I have with playing the Warriors with my cousin on stream? We can't talk to y'all because the dongles that we have set up, that's only used for us to play the game. We can't use anything to talk with y'all. If I was to get the Steam machine, I wouldn't have to worry about having to use some fucking dongle. I could just plug my PS5 controller right in and I'm playing it. And I can have the ability to use a microphone and I can talk with y'all. And the same can be said with me having to play, oh yes, same thing with me having to play Fusion Frenzy, Xbox emulation, and it can run good. We could be able to talk with y'all and have a damn good ass time. And I could bring my whole setup over. The pros for the Steam machine with me outweighs the cons. I had no reason to go get a Steam machine. But now because I'm doing co-op with my cousin, now I got a reason to get the Steam machine. And it's not even because of the fact that I want to play, it's not because of the fact, oh, okay, you get to play modern games with a small box. It's literally because I get to not only stream these games with y'all, but because y'all get to hear the amount of fun that me, him, and even a couple other friends would have when it goes to this shit. And all it takes is a good purchase of possibly $600. We still don't know the price, but this is what I do know. If it's $600, Valve is going to make a lot of money. They're going to make a lot of money. And I personally see it like this. We are well aware of the issues that has been going on with AI when it goes to the RAM prices, CPU, and GPU. Y'all know I've covered it. But if that Steam machine takes off like I expect it to, if it's $600, Valve would have made back all the money it would take just to make the Steam machine. Go ahead and post it. Valve would make back all the money it would take for the Steam machine because of all the parts that they will have to get to assemble it in the first place. They're just going to make it all back and they'll just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. Like, it's literally going to offset the cost having to do all this. What is this? This your laptop? Oh my lord. See exactly what I'm talking about. Now, to be fair, laptops is always high in price. Laptops are always high in price. But this, oh my goodness. You'd be set for life if you could get this. Wait. This is your current laptop. Never mind. This was $2.5K when she got it. And now it spiked up to... Literally, let's be fair, this shit spiked up damn near almost $5,000. Again, goes to my point, everyone. Take care of your shit. Take care of your shit. Take care of it. Because when you got it that first time when it was so long ago, you're not going to get it back again. And you're not going to get it at a similar price. You got it at a great time. And now it's time to take care of it at a great time. This is now the era of not only backlog gaming, but this is the era for preserving your stuff. And I hope y'all make damn sure y'all do that. Alright. Speaking of AI and its bullshit, Umasu Sume, I guess, developer of Psy Games is coming under fire after announcing their AI-focused studio. Backlog gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Winter, for showing me this, but backlog gaming, y'all. Backlog. Get into that shit now. Get into this shit when you can. Because, oh buddy, backlog is getting more and more and more and more and more. It's a separate studio that has nothing to do with the actual Masume game. Okay, separate. But they still have to go with it, which is the shame. They're still going to be under that same branch, and they still have to go with it. There's that. There's the whole thing with Expedition 33, blah, blah, blah. But, oh my God, I cannot pronounce shit. Uma Musume. Thank you. Uma Musume. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. I hope I got it as right as I could. Uma Musume. Thank you, Omega. But yeah, pretty much it's like, look, man, backlog. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Is just prioritize your backlog. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance added to the Nintendo GameCube Classics. If y'all like Fire Emblem, go have fun. You know what I mean? Go have fun. Have at it. Have the time of your life. Have fun. Get with it, man. Get with it. Let me see what's next to talk about. Yeah, there's one more thing to talk about. It's really just Valve. I know there's the NFL stuff, and I'll get to it in a bit. But we gotta talk about this with Valve.
You spend 40 hours carefully curating the perfect mod list. You've got the 4K textures, the overhauled combat mechanics. It's perfect. You go to Slipday to the Steam Workshop and the Steamworks SDK. Valve is introducing a system that effectively acts as a time machine for your mods. Steam is finally fixing broken mods, and the way it works is actually genius. Now, it actually makes sense for Valve to implement these changes given their history. Much of Valve's own success is built directly on the foundation of the modding community. Games that define the industry today like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, and Dota all originated as community-made mods. Valve's approach has historically been to embrace these creators rather than restrict them, often hiring the original modders to develop these projects into standalone titles. By introducing these new workshop tools, Valve is acknowledging that modding is a primary pillar of the modern gaming ecosystem, rather than just a niche hobby. To understand why this is a revolutionary shift, we have to look at why mods break in the first place. Most people think that a game update just adds new stuff, but under the hood, an update changes the game's version branch. Think of a game like a house. A mod is like a custom-built bookshelf designed to fit perfectly into a specific corner of the living room. When a developer updates the game, they might move that wall by 2 inches. Suddenly, your custom bookshelf doesn't fit, and it's now clipping through the wall. In the past, Steam only cared about the latest version. It forced everyone onto the newest build.
Go ahead, for you.
If your mods weren't ready for that build, you were out of luck. You had to manually go into the beta settings and hope the developer kept an old version of the game available, which most didn't. Valve's new solution is called the workshop item versioning. This isn't just a small UI change, it's a fundamental rework of how Steam communicates with your hard drive. The update allows mod authors to upload multiple simultaneous versions of the same mod. In the old days, if a modder updated their game for game version 1.5, it would overwrite the version for game version 1.4. If you were still playing on the old version of the game, your mod would update and automatically break your game anyway. It was a lose-lose situation. Now a modder can say, here is the version for game 1.4 and here is the version for game 1.5. Steam is now smart enough to look at your game and say, oh, I see you are still playing on the old patch. I will ignore the new mod update and keep you on the version that actually works for you.
This is critical. And if you want to see the rest of the video, you can feel free to watch the rest of the video whenever y'all can, but this is big. So the only way this truly makes sense, funny enough, go look at Palworld when you see how the servers are being ran there. Now, there will be times where you'll see old versions of the server up. They still let you play on those old versions of the server until you sit up there and you update the game. Imagine that, right? Imagine that, but all across everywhere else that Steam has access to specific games with. Imagine if Monster Hunter had something like this. If Rise had something like this that could have broke a lot less mods. If World has something like this that could have broke a lot less mods. You know what I mean? That's big. Very, very big. And I really hope that something like this, it's like a staple for like all of PC gaming entirely. In fact, I'll make a case and say I hope that's a staple for everywhere that allows modding. I think Xbox with their games, they let modding get in there. So yeah, I hope that's a thing. That's very big. So say if a mod that I had for Monster Hunter that was the Lego traps, you know what I mean, from Rise. I remember trying to put that on there with the trap bugs, some shit like that, and it never worked. Imagine if I was able to go back a version and then after that it will work. That's something I would love to do. Now, will it hurt me in a sense? Well, will I be having some shit taken away? Yeah, probably. But something like that is so goddamn great to have. Now, for right now, I only see this working for offline games the most. I don't see this obviously working for online games as much as I would want it to. But something like that Valve is looking to implement is a great thing to have. And I hope that something like that, you know, stays for good. For all pieces of gaming. But we'll see what will happen. But that change with mods that's great, man. Thank you for the hydration check. I sadly had all that there was to drink. I'll have to go back down. But we're almost done, so I guess I can talk about this. I'll talk a little bit about the football stuff that won't be much longer. Okay, for some reason it's giving me bullshit. But, okay, so this laptop is called the Titan 18. Okay. Okay, there you go. The Titan 18HX Dragon Edition Norse Myth A2X WJG. I'm not reading the rest of that shit. 18-inch laptop. Alright, let's take a look at this baby. This looks like something out of fucking... Yep, definitely is Norse mythology. This would be like some kind of shit that be out of... This dude look good as shit, but this also looks like something, you know, with the background and shit like that. Looks like something that would be out of kind of like, I guess, Gore Magala. I'm not Gore Magala. Look, this background, not Gore Magala. Background would look like some out of I said Norse mythology. Yeah, out of God of War. Look at the price. $6,000. Good lord. Now let me look at that and put it in comparison. There's only a $1,000 difference. I would grab this and not think twice about it. And this has better specs. A 5090 laptop? A 5090 RTX 5090 GPU? I'm grabbing this and I'm not thinking twice about it. Yours is a 3080. This is a 5090. And that's only a $1,000 difference? And you get Battlefield 6? Plus additional game titles? Wait a minute. What are the additional game titles? There's got to be more to it than that. Okay, so you would get Battlefield 6, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would love to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. I ain't going to lie to you. Dying Light the Beast, and you get Civ 7. I'm sorry, Civ 8. My bad. You get 4 good-ass games on top of grabbing that for $6,000. That is unfucking believable. Like, at this point, bro, if I could, you better than me. Be like, man, look, if I could, I'd be like, look, I'll trade this shit in. I'll wipe my data. I'll trade that laptop in and be like, you know what? Here, get this. And then I'll trade you. I'll give you this just so I can get this. 6 terabyte SSD, 6 terabyte SSD and 96 gigs of RAM. You be set for life. That's better than most. That's better than freaking desktops right now. That's better than mine by a landslide. I'm not gonna go up that high. Even if I wanted to, I'm not gonna do it. Can I get a hold up? There has to be a video on this. There has to be. There has to be a video on this. There's no video on this. There's no way. Yeah, there is. Well, there's that, but tutorials. Yeah, there is.
MSI's Titan 18 is the most powerful gaming laptop I've ever tested. Alright, review over, thanks for coming. Okay, but seriously, before emptying your bank account for this monster, there are some stupid issues that you need to know about. The Titan has a black and silver theme with a magnesium aluminum chassis, though the plastic rest area feels closer to glass. There's also the limited edition Norse Myth version, but that costs even more. Build quality feels good. Screen, lid, and keyboard flex are only minor, even when pushing down hard. The hinges feel smooth and sturdy, there's no screen wobble when typing, it's super easy to open with one finger, and the screen goes back further than most others. Fingerprints are harder to see on the interior than the lid, but both are easy to clean with a microfiber cloth. Unfortunately, you don't get Titan level power in a small package. This beast is big and heavy. The Titan tips the scales at 8 pounds or 3.6 kilos if you're metric minded.
Base version
Throw in
is
the
sold
400 watt
out.
charger and you're lugging around 10.5 pounds or 4.8 kilos. It still weighs the same as last gen, but doesn't quite steal the heaviest laptop crown from Alienware's M18 R2. Interestingly, the older 2023 Titan with smaller 330 watt charger ends up heavier when including the chargers. So although we're at 400 watts now,
let me look at performance. I don't care about all this shit. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't care about all this. I want to see performance.
Here's how FPS looks in an actual game with the different performance modes in use. I've got the native results without upscaling shown in purple, and a demonstration of the performance improvement that's possible by setting DLSS 4 to performance in red. Eco mode didn't provide enough power to run the game without DLSS, which is too bad, as it would have been nice to have the option of gaming with less fair noise. Based on this, they should rename balanced mode to performance and add a new
By the way, if
balanced mode
Cyberpunk's the only game he
balanced.
tested, I'm not gonna take this seriously. Yeah, it was the only game he tested. Yeah, I can't take shit like this seriously. I'm happy. Look, I'm so sorry that we wasted that much time. But Yeah, I'm sure there's more vids out there. We just gotta look. We definitely just gotta look and see. Oh, Slifer. Well, let me just put that in there and leave that right where it is. Okay, so yeah, take care of y'all shit, man. I don't know what else I could tell you. All right, last but not least, we got NFL to talk about, and then after that, we take a look at that Yu-Gi-Oh video. All right, so here we go. I know y'all been waiting for this. Let's get the bullshit out the way, okay? Niners beat the Eagles 23-19. Congratulations to the 49ers. Congratulations to the 49ers for beating up on the Eagles like they should have, because as far as I'm concerned, changes will be made. I did say there was wild card consequence, and we finally got wild card consequence. Rams beat up on the Panthers 34-31. This was a very good game. A lot of these were very good games, all except two. And the two are at the bottom. Rams is going to go on to face the Seahawks. That's going to be a very good one, of course. You know, we got NFC rivals not liking each other. Speaking of NFC rivals, we got a good one with the Bears and the Packers. I thought the Bears were going to pull it out, but they went like, nah. The Bears decided to fuck it up. I'm sorry, not the Bears. The Packers decided to fuck it up when they had game right there. They just simply stopped scoring. Bills beat the Jags 27-24. This got real interesting when I saw this happen. My first thought was when the Bills beat the Jags, I said, oh my God. So if Texans win this game, look, I know Texans are out here. I know Texas fans out here, like, they're like, oh, I guess it's a good thing we didn't get that we didn't win the division now, huh? Since this is the price that they had to pay. Talking about the Jags, the Bills do them a favor. They knocked their rival out of the playoffs, and of course, Patriots and Chargers was a pretty low standard game. I don't have much to talk about from either of these games. I'm gonna be honest with you, because most of these was pretty much expected. Rams beating the Panthers was expected. Bears beating the Packers was expected. Be it took a bit, but it was expected. The same can be said for the Rams and the Panthers. What was probably the least to expect, if I had to take a guess, it was the Bills beating the Jags, because everyone thought, yo, the Jags are on a tear. They can't fuck this up, but hey, they fucked it up. Now, here we go. Without question, the undisputed clap cheeks of the week goes to the Texans versus the Steelers. Texans put belt to ass. Belt to ass on the Steelers, 30-6, putting up 23 unanswered in the fourth quarter. Unfreaking real. CJ Stroud did not have his best game, but he did do, all he had to do was just do good enough to make sure the Steelers didn't score. Not a touchdown, and that's what he did. And he scored a touchdown himself, going 21 of 32, 250 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Jaquavius Marks, 19 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. So yeah, he didn't have his best game. He just happened to do enough to where the Steelers didn't take advantage. Fumbled twice. Christian Kirk scored a touchdown. Hey, Christian Kirk, don't go to Stephen A. He'll call that man Charlie. 6 receptions, 144 yards, and a touchdown. Donkey Kong Metcalf got shut off along with Aaron Rodgers. He had 2 receptions, 42 yards. Like, I swear, DK got sent back. He got sent back home. Aaron Rodgers, 17 of 33, 146 yards, and an interception. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, that will be the last time you will see of him. All I got to say is this: that Texans defense is going to make or break teams out here, okay? That Texans defense is going to make or break these playoffs. If that's what they just pulled off, Good luck. Good fucking luck to Josh Allen. I think they're going to be facing them. I'm not sure. Who are they facing? Who are they facing next? Okay. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Oh, God. All right, so this is our divisional game. We got Bills taking on the Broncos. I'm going to be honest with you. The Bills, I know the Broncos is a little iffy, but if there was a team where they have the best shot to go to the conference championship game against, this is the best shot right here. This is their opportunity to go to the conference championship game here. I know the Broncos ain't an easy pushover, but I'd rather face the Broncos than face the Texans and the Patriots right now, who are about to beat up on each other. So they got it made out of this whole list. 49ers facing the Seahawks. You know how it be. NFC rivalries are fucking nuts. We're going to find out and see if the Seahawks are going to go to the NFC Championship game or if Sam Darnold's going to fold. AFC divisional game here between the Texans and the Patriots. This is going to be the game of the week without question. I'm shocked this isn't a Sunday night game. I'm going to be real with you. I'm very shocked this ain't Sunday night. This is a game everybody's going to want to tune into. We're going to find out and see who's the better team. I'm going to say it like this. I personally believe this. Now, I could be wrong going into the AFC Championship game, but I personally believe this. The team that wins this game, they're going to the Super Bowl. The team that wins this game is going to the Super Bowl. These are two of the, in my opinion, two of the best teams throughout the AFC. And keep in mind what I showed you with the Texans storyline if y'all haven't been keeping up. The Texans were not supposed to be in the playoffs. They lost 4 or 5 games before going on their win streak. They weren't supposed to be in this position. So the fact that they're in this position now where they have a shot, they were 3-4, thank you. They were 3-4. If they had gotten just so much as 1 more loss or 2 more losses, they're not in the playoffs. The fact that we're now at this position where they're literally 2 more wins away from finally winning the Lombardi Trophy for the first time in their franchise's history is some crazy shit to think about. The Texans were not supposed to be in this position. And I cannot stress this enough. They weren't supposed to be here. This is like that meme with that polar bear being in Texas. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Especially considering what happened last year with this same squad. They weren't supposed to be here. So regardless of what happens in this divisional game, Texans fans got something to be proud of. But you want to know what? The same can be said to the Patriots. The Patriots are another team. They weren't supposed to be here. Keep in mind, the Patriots is just coming off of a firing from Gerard Mayo, who they internally hired. They've been struggling to find their groove since Tom Brady left back in 2019, 2020? And they've been struggling ever since. They weren't supposed to be here. We go from that to now here we are. Both teams that are in these playoffs that weren't supposed to be here. In fact, I'll do one better. The Broncos are another team that weren't supposed to be here. You want to know why? Because the Broncos were a bottom-feeding team in the AFC West, and even if they weren't, they had to deal with the Chiefs. The Chiefs ran the AFC for years. And the only team that was supposed to be there is the Bills. 3 of those teams, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Patriots, out of 3 of them, they're going to get far in these playoffs, and they weren't supposed to. If you want to see a team that got the most experience, the Bills have the most experience. They were just there last year. They were just there a couple years prior. Literally, looking at this from the Bills' perspective, Josh Allen does not have Patrick Mahomes in his way. He does not have Lamar Jackson in his way. He has the golden opportunity to go to the Super Bowl and possibly win it. And yes, I know the Broncos and I know the Texans and Patriots are good. But as I said before, if Josh Allen does not get the job done, I'm going to fucking laugh to the bank. Because who's to say that the Kansas City Chiefs, while they're not the Chiefs that we know of, who's to say that they won't get back to the playoffs next year and be the reason that they knocked them out the playoffs again? And then we got to hear more excuses after more excuses after more excuses for why Josh Allen can't get the job done. While I look at teams like the Broncos, like the Texans, like the Patriots that, like the Eminem song, they had their one shot and they had their opportunity and they made sure to fucking take it. This ain't the case when it goes to the NFC. With the NFC, there's parity everywhere. You see it plain as day. But the AFC, you'll be lucky if you get this kind of opportunity. So you better take full fucking advantage of it. Because, look, in general, winning a Super Bowl is hard. Getting back there is harder, as you can blatantly see with the Eagles. Winning it twice is the toughest challenge yet. So, we'll see what'll happen, but this is what I do know. If I had to put my money down on what I want to see for a Super Bowl, here's what I want to see for a Super Bowl. Do I think it'll happen? Maybe, maybe not. But this is what I want to see for a Super Bowl. I want to see Texans versus Bears in the Super Bowl. I want to see a team that hadn't won a Super Bowl since, what, the 80s? Versus a team that's looking for their first ever Super Bowl in franchise history. Either way, that's the game I want to see. But we'll figure that out. We'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I can't think Super Bowl yet when we're in the divisional round of the playoffs, but this is what I do know. That's my Super Bowl prediction. Who do I think is going to win it? I don't know who's going to win it. All I know is those are 2 teams I want to see in the Super Bowl. We'll see what'll happen. Texans got the toughest challenge out of damn near almost everybody here. Texans have to knock off the 2-seed Patriots. We will see what'll happen. I know 49ers got a tough shot versus the Seahawks, but we know the Seahawks are clearly favored in this. We'll see if they'll win it, but if Texans want to make the Cinderella dream come true, you got to knock off the Patriots. You got to do it. Now, other than that, there's not much else there is to cover. If y'all want to give y'all thoughts who you think's gonna win in the divisional games, go right ahead. Bills versus Broncos, 49ers versus Seahawks, Rams versus Bears, Texans versus Patriots. Give your thoughts who you think's gonna win, who's gonna be the player of the game. We'll see what'll happen. I saw Dallas fans talking shit about y'all. I don't care about Dallas fans, Omega. I could care less. Dallas fans is cheering when Dallas fans hasn't seen the Super Bowl literally since I was born. I was born in 96. I could care less what they think. I laugh at Dallas fans when they either don't make the playoffs or they choke when they get in the playoffs. I saw 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. The ones that are born either around my age or after my age have not seen them win a Super Bowl. Just saying. They haven't seen success in a long time. So I could care less. It just would hit harder. And here's how I know, by the way, that not only Dallas fans but NFC East fans are struggling. And I knew this was going to happen the minute it did. When the Eagles won that Super Bowl in 2018, all trash talk when it went to the NFC East faded right then and there. All trash talk with the Eagles were over right then and there. And the only thing they could do was sit up there and count the rings, count the rings. They can't get, if that's all you have to give me. Here's my retort to that with the count the rings comment. You have more rings, but who has the recent ring? Out of the 3. I'm sorry, out of the 4. Who has the more recent ring? Who's seeing success right now in the NFL? Right now. Not back in 2010. Not back in 2011. Not back in 2007. Not back in 1990s. Not back in the 80s. Not back in the 70s. Now. Fuck all that. Now. In my lifetime, I have seen 3 championships won. I have seen the Phillies win a championship in 2008. And I've seen the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls while I'm alive. The only fan base that can even so much as mention that their rings when they were alive are the Giants. And they haven't seen a Super Bowl title in over a decade now. Omega, there's no salt for them to rub on. They're cherry picking at shit to find when there's nothing to find. As far as I'm concerned. All I know is at the end of the day, they had to witness their rival win 4 Super Bowls since Dallas have won in the 90s. They had to witness the Giants win twice, and now they have to witness the Eagles win twice. They had to witness an NFC Championship game between the Eagles and the Commanders. I have nothing more to talk to Dallas fans over. I have nothing more. Nothing. I'm empty when it goes to Dallas fans. They don't make me mad anymore because they fish and they pry for shit to try to make you mad over, try to rage bait you over. When you can't really rage bait me when I've seen 2 rings. And before people want to hit up sit up there and hit me with the ring culture crap. I was hit with ring culture from when I was born up to 2016. So guess what? If you ring culture me for that long, fine. I will do it right back, and it's well deserved. I don't feel bad. And I called it, by the way. I instantly called it when I sat up there and I said, and there's a clip on it clearly because you'll see it on the BRB, where I said, we will be back there one day. Called it. I said, we will be back there one day and we will win it. And lo and behold, 3 years later, 2 years later, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 to 3 years later, I was right. That's all I had to say. I could care less. Yes. We made it back. We made it in 2022. That's when we lost to the Chiefs. And then right after that, literally, I think, a couple days to a week. Yeah, a couple days after that Super Bowl loss, I literally called it and I said, we will be back there one day. And then just like that, we went back there. I didn't think we'd be back against the same team, against the Chiefs, but we went back there, and y'all seen the rest. When we got holed over because of the fucking grass and the refs. When we got holed over. And damn, did we ever make up for it. How's this destroying the meta? This was pretty common to see. Bro, I don't want just a competent offensive coordinator. I want one that's going to last for longer than a year. Okay? Like, y'all have seen the history with Jalen Hurts having offensive coordinators. The man's an offensive coordinator for 10 years. That means during his time in college and during his time in the pros, this man has a new offensive coordinator almost every year. Give me someone like the Ravens offensive coordinator. I understand. I completely fucking understand why Eagles fans are wary when it goes to him, because the motherfucker had Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, and he refused to give the ball to Derrick Henry when he should have. But this is what I do know. Todd, I think was named Todd Monkenin. That motherfucker is 60 years old. He's not going to be a head coach anytime soon. Vic Fangio is pushing 70 hard. He's pushing 70 hard. He's not going to go get not going for a head coaching job anytime soon. So if there's anything I want the Eagles to do, go after some fucking old heads and offensive coordinator and make it work with them. And that way this trend with Jalen Hurts having offensive coordinators will end. He can get granted, it sucks he has to get acclimated to a new system, but he's going to get acclimated to a system real quick that he's low-key familiar with. Because it was kind of like this is, imagine how this system is, but upgraded. That's Todd Monkenin for me. He's literally going to take what worked with the Ravens and put it over here and make that shit work. I got no problem with it. He's my prime candidate as an offensive coordinator, along with Mike McDaniels. The only issue I got with Mike McDaniels is he'll do well one season, and I see it coming. He's going to ask for a head coaching job again. He's going for offensive coordinator spots now. So it's like, say if he succeeds with us, then he leaves. We're right back at square one all over again. I don't want Jalen Hurts to go through that no more. So instead, that's two choices. Todd Monkenin from the Ravens and sadly Brian Daboll from the Giants. That's all I could think of. There's always that thing where coaches do well as coordinators compared to them doing well as coaches. And I feel like that's going to be the case with really both of them, even though I know Todd, I don't know if he ever became a head coach, but clearly we know Dabo has. He got fired from the fucking Giants as a coach. So at the very least, I'd rather that. I only have a severe issue with it because, a severe issue with it in the sense where it's like, he's a hothead, and we got enough hotheads on the team. You know what I mean? Why do it twice? I don't understand why activate Fool Laws twice. And that can't be negated. I'm curious to why you said this was destroying the meta. What the fuck is the meta now in Yu-Gi-Oh? I can tell you what is the meta. The yummy cards are the meta. If you could take that out, then show me. And so far, I don't see anything that highlights this, so I'm just wasting my time. Alright, till then, guys. Yeah, I know the meta changes constantly, but this right now is going to be the meta with Master Duel right now, and oh my god, it is going to be pain. So let me show you what the Yummy deck is all about and why it is such a big fucking problem. Actually, you know what? Team Samurai, I think, does a good job of trying to highlight how bad. Alright, guys, Konami just dropped a brand new selection pack for January 2026.
Imperm, it's because you want to get Axe Damara, my exact end board. And the most important thing to learn about, you know, playing this deck when it comes to Master Duel is you want to try to learn the basic combos
I did
first,
see Deadpool
and
trailer.
then once you figure out the basic combos,
saw it when
you
it was
then
at the
need to
Game Awards,
understand the
remember?
proper sequencing on how to utilize your combos in a correct way. Once you do that, you can easily master the deck. So if you guys are probably wondering where the heck I am right now, I'm actually in Asia. I'm going to be in Asia for 1 month. So if you guys are up in Thailand. So yeah, I just brought my entire setup. So it's just so I can, let's begin. Okay. So honestly, in this case, no cap, if I open up like a normal monster, like a hand trap, like a Fuwa, and like a Lollipop Yummy, I normal summon the monster first.
I'm going to end in a little bit.
And the reason why you do that is because you want to get Axe Damarage and then summon the Lollipop Yummy.
Of course he can, because he's
dodge
Deadpool.
Impermanence on Cupsy Yummy way, right? So yeah, so what, but just for this example, the very first one, Lollipop Yummy or any Yummy name plus 1 discard, okay? So we're just gonna normal summon Lollipop. We're gonna link away into Snatchy. And the reason why I like normal summoning a like hand trap first in this scenario is because if this gets stopped, right, you basically have no other way to play. In this case, you have another copy of Lollipop Yummy, so you can always extend if your opponent were to, you know, imperm this. But in the worst scenario, if you open up, you know, with just a Lollipop or any Yummy plus 1 discard and no normal monster, imperming this would obviously hurt because you cannot continue your plays right after that if this gets imperm. But usually if you open up like a hand trap, like let's say Fuwa, you can also summon Fuwa, make Amarage, special summon Lollipop, link the 2 into Cupsy. If your opponent tries to Veilor it or imperm, you can dodge it, right? Which is actually really, really good. So yeah, but honestly, anyways, we're just gonna continue with the 1-card combo. We're gonna go with the Mignon right here, especially Lollipop from your graveyard. And at this point right here, guys, they can no longer imperm you, okay? Imperm is non-existent.
And yes, what you're seeing is like you're not in the Genjutsu. You can literally synchro summon with a Link monster and an effect monster. This is some unheard of shit. The fact you can do that. You can synchro summon. As in, do math synchro summon.
Once this Yummy Snatch
for some reason, this counts right? For you to do because synchro summoning.
These two, into the Cupsy Yummy way, and then you can activate Cupsy Yummy's effect, okay? Activate the effect to search 2. And if your opponent were to imperm this, you can change Cupsy Yummy way to dodge it, which is why imperm doesn't do anything.
So I'm gonna skip ahead because I know he's doing a lot of talking. But you could do shit like this. Sprite Elf is busted with this. Is the Link a tuner? Probably. I have no idea. I have to look up the Link card for that. But hold up. Yummy. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. Let me put that down. Let me see the... Here it is right here. You can only use this effect of the card once per turn. One of the effects. If this card is synchro summon, you can place one Yummy in a field spell from your hand or deck. You also cannot link summon link 3 or higher link monsters for the rest of the turn. Once per chain, during the main battle phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can pay 100 immediately after this effect resolves and synchro summon using a Yummy monster you control. I don't even think he did that because he had to use the first one. So there's that. But here's the, what is it? The Cupsy one. Okay. 1 plus tuner, 1 non-tuner monster. So I'm going to assume yes, one of them is a tuner. I just don't know which one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to assume yes, the Link monster is a fucking tuner. Or it says right here with one of these other effects, if you control a Link 1 monster or a level 2 synchro monster, you can special summon this from the hand. Special summon from the hand. Special summon from the hand. Yeah, I'm just going to easily assume one of these motherfuckers are a tuner. So let me see here. You said there was a normal monster. That was not a normal. That was not a normal.
But usually if you open up a... But honestly, they can no longer imperm.
This is not a normal. This is a beast effect.
Okay, imperm is
very specific wording, by the way. This is a beast effect, and this is a Link monster, right? And this motherfucker sat up there and just said, "Fuck it, we just gonna go ahead and do this."
But honestly, anyways, you can also in Fuwa, she actually resolves. Cupsy, if your opponent tries to Veiler it or imperm, you can dodge it, right? Which is actually really, really good. So yeah, but honestly, anyways, we're just continue with the 1-card combo. I'm gonna go with the Mignon right here, especially Lollipop from your graveyard. And at this point right here, guys, they can no longer imperm you. Okay, imperm is
no, he just straight up did a synchro summon.
Non-existent. Once this,
he didn't even activate the second effect
resolves, right?
of this card. He just straight up did a synchro summon, right off rip. But goes to show you that right there already makes it not normal because you're not supposed to be doing this. Now, with that being said, this is the kind of end board that you would typically end on when you see stuff like this. And neither say tuner. Yup, goes to show you. You guys getting more and more busted for no reason. Now, this is where this gets out of control. If y'all don't know what Sprite Elf does, I'll go ahead and tell you. Sprite Elf, with the arrows it's pointed to, basically protects your cards from the left and the right. Bottom left and bottom right that it's pointed to. It protects these cards. So whatever effects that it activates, your opponent cannot respond to any of these effects. Nor can it target any of these cards. Built-in protection is crazy. And on top of that, you got the Herald of Arclight here, which is a negate. It will stop any effect that comes your way.
That's pretty much it for the first combo. Let me showcase you guys an engage combo where you convert a token into a Hornet Drones. Will get you this. Let's go. Ooh. Yo,
I would actually like this card. But yeah, it goes to show you, man, Morgan. Like...
You can search synchro monsters from your grave. Directly from deck to hand. And remember, guys, we actually
you get to see it in action. Never mind.
So Kagari can't get us back the thing, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to activate this. Marshmallow Yummy in our hand. And then we're going to chain Hornet Drones, okay? We're just going to chain Hornet Drones right here, okay? Because Kagari can't add it back. You have to be careful here. All right, so this is going to summon this. Skystriker token. And Marshmallow can summon itself from the hand, okay?
Okay.
And let's see what our opponent does here. All right?
Okay.
So I'm going to go activate snatch you right away.
Synchro summon.
Okay, cool.
By the way.
Interesting.
On his own turn.
Probably make Cookie. And Cookie can just book a moon the Marshmallow Yummy, which is completely okay. That's fine. And honestly, what we're going to do here, because this guy's a bot, we're just going to go these two right here. to Kagari. Okay, Kagari is amazing. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna go battle phase. Okay, force out the IP right now. Yeah, this guy sucks. Sorry. Yeah, he's gonna use IP and the cookie to make SP to banish this. I haven't even normal summon yet. What?
Oh my goodness.
Make SP. Okay, SP will banish Kagari. Completely fine. That's fine. Continue main event, yes. Normal summon Lollipo.
Didn't even normal summon yet.
I'm not gonna use Lollipo's effect. We're gonna go these two into Snatchy. Let me see here. In this situation right now, we just gotta go Typhon. Yeah, we gotta go Typhon.
Yeah, because you don't know what the trap is.
And we can use Typhon's effect, but we just have to go battle phase. Just run it over by battle. Okay. Okay, we do this. We set this. And then we end our turn here. Okay, that's...
Oh, man. Yeah, I'll let y'all see the rest of it with how the Yummy deck goes. I'll go ahead and put that in the Duelist chat so you can see for yourself. It's pretty fucking insane. And for me, I just cannot wait until the K9 cards come out. They're going to come out very, very soon. I know they will. But till then, guys, I'm pretty much done for now. Y'all have yourself a good rest of the day, night, evening. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. First episode of the new year. It's good to finally get all this out the way. Till then, y'all, I'm going to go grab something to eat. I'm going to go chill out. I don't know if I'm going to... I really don't know if I'm still going to play games or not. I'm not sure. But let me see who is live right now. So that way we can go show love. Let's see who's live right now. Anyone in particular? G-Rank Kurapeko playing Final Fantasy 14 with all that fucking HUD shit going on. I would not be able to see. Really no one truly of note. So yeah, it is what it is. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take off from here. Well, I do see Just Us playing. You know what? Yeah. We'll go ahead and raid Just Us. He's playing Monster Hunter. So we're gonna go ahead and raid him. Y'all have yourself a good rest of the day, night, evening. I will see y'all for the next stream. Bye. Cause why not? Monster Hunter is Monster Hunter, bro.